We are joined now by MK Party spokesperson Nhlamulo Ndhlela, who speaks to us from Johannesburg this evening. Ms. Ndhlela, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. I'd like to start with your status as a member of Parliament. There is a letter circulating bearing the signature of your leader in Parliament, Dr. John Hlophe, and this letter simply says that you are removed as part of the team in the whippery. Can you confirm whether or not that is authentic?
Yes, now good evening, Collen, and good evening to your viewers. We have seen, and I've also came into contact with that letter via obviously social media as it was trending and circulating. Let me categorically state the following. I've had a conversation with the party leader, Dr. Hlophe, and party leader then said to me, in his response to say, Sompisi, he refers to me as Sompisi, my digital signature has been abused. And I pretty much left it at that. So effectively, I've never seen that letter in its physical form. I've never received it. And when I spoke to the Deputy President and party leader in Parliament, that was his response to me, that his digital signature has been abused. And I guess that in of itself is telling.
Yeah, and I take it, therefore, that that would go the same for Ms. Zuma Sambula.
Well, I guess we're referring to the same letter, is my understanding based on your question.
So that's Nhlamulo Ndhlela for you guys there. This guy is lying on national TV that he wasn't removed as part of the communication in the whippery of the MKP party in Parliament. And that the letter that has been circulating in the media that is authored by John Hlophe, the Deputy President of the MKP and the leader of the party in Parliament, and that that letter is not authentic, meaning he was saying that there is a signature that's been forged there by somebody, and that he spoke to John Hlophe about this, and John Hlophe did mention to him that the electronic signature of John Hlophe was forged in essence or was misused. It's not a real signature of John Hlophe. And today, John Hlophe hosted a press conference to clarify all of that. And it turns out that this guy is a liar, Nhlamulo Ndhlela, and that he lied about that. And that John Hlophe indeed, he did write him a letter to tell him that he's going to be removed as part of the whippery in Parliament on behalf of the MKP. And part of the reason is that apparently it's very disrespectful, very disruptive. Him and Duduzile Zuma. It's not a surprise. Even Flesh Vambo did mention that these two scoundrels, as he called them, that they are very disrespectful. I suppose simply because they are closer to Jacob Zuma, they are able to manipulate him and all these things. And yeah, today John Hlophe clarified all of that. And I don't know how does Nhlamulo Ndhlela comes back from this. I mean, you lied on national TV, and he can go and make up whatever is that he wants to make up in terms of what John Hlophe said. But the truth of the matter is South Africa has seen him for what he is, a liar. And that is indicative of this party, the MKP party. It has got this tendency of attracting these types of individuals, people with questionable past, people with questionable morals, and somebody like a national spokesperson, and they get on national TV and lie, and that will bring the party into disrepute. I don't know if he will be disciplined in this regard. But then again, today John Hlophe was stamping his authority to say, hey, I'm the party leader here in Parliament, I make decisions, and Jacob Zuma understands that. And let's check out this video by John Hlophe of the press conference for today. And let me know what you think about this. Where is this party going? From where I'm sitting here, I'm not convinced that this party has got a future. As soon as Jacob Zuma is unable to do certain things, he's incapacitated or he passes away, God forbid, there is no way that this party is not going to cannibalize itself. People are going to be fighting for positions. People are going to be fighting for leadership. There's going to be splinter parties. People are already resigning this party. I mean, by this time, 7 secretary generals and this party is not even 2 years old. 7 secretary generals. How many TGs? I think about 3 or 4 treasury generals as well. So the movement, the inconsistency, the instability in the party, it's a cause for concern. Can you imagine if this party had won the election, and how would they be able to govern the country if, and they call themselves the government in waiting, how would they be able to govern the country if they are unable to manage a small party like the MKP as it is now? It has got a potential to grow to become big, but at this present moment is not one of the biggest party in South Africa, but it is big anyway. If you're unable to manage a small party like this, how would you be able to manage the government, as it were? So it seems like everybody does whatever they want to do, as long as Zuma says yay, and the people, they get a carte blanche to do whatever that they want. No surprises that even in province like Mpumalanga, there is such an instability, whereby you don't know who the leader is, they're busy litigating one another, and things like that. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's check out this clip by the press conference that was hosted by John Hlophe too. All right, let's check it out.
Also, let me add here, I'm the party leader as well as the deputy president of Umkhonto weSizwe Party. The president has made it clear I mustn't be a crybaby. On issues relating to parliament, if there are any changes of a structural nature, changes that are necessitated because we want to make ourselves effective, I have a final say in that regard, subject to conferring with him where necessary. That's it. Let me now turn to one or two things that have happened since then, and I want to deal with them now once and for all so that they will not arise. When the changes were made, unfortunately we went through a situation whereby we had to terminate the whippery status of Commander Nhlamulo Ndhlela. He was a deputy whip, remember, and no longer a whip. We decided to terminate that for the reasons that were given to him. There is a letter that was written by my office on the 23rd of June 2025, which was formally handed to him, right, in terms of which his whippery status as a deputy whip, in terms of which that was terminated. There were reasons clearly articulated in that letter. Following that, obviously, it meant he was no longer part of the whippery, because whenever we meet as a whippery, it's always myself, the chief whips, the deputy chief whip, and all other deputy whips. So a group of about 18 or 19 altogether. The result of terminating that meant he was no longer going to attend those meetings. He rocked up at a meeting and said he did not get the letter. His case was that he did not receive the letter terminating his membership as a whipper. The chief whip immediately said at that meeting, if you did not receive the letter, we will give you the letter after the meeting. After that, he came to me and raised the issue that he did not receive the letter. I said to him, we can't talk about the letter that you say you have not even received. Once you receive the letter, we may have a discussion along those lines. But also interesting, at that point, his defense or his excuse was he has not received the letter. He doesn't know what we're talking about. Alternatively, that his removal must be sanctioned by the president of Umkhonto weSizwe, which is clearly not the position. All along the changes that have taken place, the president of Umkhonto weSizwe was never involved. When it became clear that Commander Ndhlela has in fact received the letter, his story changed. The letter is not authentic in as much as it's my electronic signature which appears on the letter, right? Now, it is important to say his stance initially was that he did not receive the letter. When it became abundantly clear that he has now received the letter, he changed to saying, no, this is not the signature of the parliamentary leader. If anything, this has been forged. Let me confirm categorically that the letter came from my office. It was on the strength of that letter dated the 26th of June, 23rd of June, in terms of which Commander Ndhlela was removed. Interestingly, as he was busy saying he did not receive the letter, I got an SMS, a WhatsApp from my administrator, my PA, saying that, she still calls me Judge, saying that, Judge, here is proof that this was sent to Commander Ndhlela on the same day. He carried on saying that he didn't receive it. He repeated those allegations in the last caucus that we had. The bottom line is that the letter was sent to him before I sent it to the president, advising him of the significant changes that had taken place. Furthermore, I can assure you, I'm the head of the party. I'm the party leader here in government. Here in Parliament. If any complaint is made against any staff member or any MP, it's brought to me because I'm ultimately responsible. There is no letter, there is no petition in terms of which MPs are calling for the head of the chief whip. This is a pigment of someone's imagination, quite frankly. I would have been the first person to receive that petition. Obviously, if the petition is against me, I wouldn't expect MPs to give it to me. They would probably give it to the chief whip, who would in turn forward it to the president, who is sitting in Nkandla comfortably now.